Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing the colouring scare tag questionnaire. I was tagged by my friend TE-ARNNA'S colouring creations over on YouTube. She wanted me to do this, so I thought I'll get a crack. So there's 19 questions, and you have to answer them all. And then tag it at the end. Unfortunately, the only person I know on my YouTube account is my friend TE-ARNNA, and she's already done it, so I won't be tagging anybody, but I will write up the questions into the description for you so that you can also go along and do it yourself on your own channels or your own pages and stuff. Because I know some like me, no, you haven't really got nobody to tag, so you can all join in the fun. So I'll get started anyway. This is one of my pictures I've recently done of The Beauty of Horror book 4, I think it is. I think it's creature feature, I'm not 100% certain, but I ain't got a picture frame for it yet, so I just thought I'd use it as a nice backdrop for my video. My little Halloween lights. I've dug them out from my old stash. I've got some more light, but they're not very big, not great for windows or anything, so I thought I'd use it for this video. So anyway, let's get started. So question 1 is, what weapon would you choose if you were living in The Walking Dead? Nah, everybody needs a weapon in Walking Dead. I've watched all seasons, love the show. Obviously I wouldn't use a gun because there's no chance of, well, you'd always run out of bullets at some point. They've not run out of bullets is beyond me. They run out of food, but they don't run out of bullets. So I wouldn't use a gun as such, because it's like potluck finding bullets everywhere. I'd probably use something like an axe, or maybe a sword like Michonne. Definitely an axe or a knife to penetrate skull into brain to kill them. Failing that, use your foot. Now, Walking Dead zombies are all slow anyway. But if it were World War Z zombies, then I wouldn't have a prayer. I'd probably use a gun, but like I said, chances of finding bullets is very slim. So yeah, I think I'd go with an axe or a sword or something. Number 2, if you were paid to stay the night in a haunted house, would you? And how much would they have to give you? Yeah, I'd stay in a haunted house for experience, even though I've already had paranormal experiences in my life. I've not seen a proper full-on ghost like a person, but I've seen shadows, and I've had things moved, thrown, and I've seen someone being sat on before by a ghost and struggled to breathe. So that doesn't really necessarily frighten me. So yeah, I'd stay in a haunted house. I won't be bothered if they paid me or not. Entirely up to them. I'm not greedy. So yeah, I would stop in a haunted mansion fortnight, or haunted house, whatever you wanted to call it. Number 3, what superstition, urban legend do you believe in? I don't think I've really got one, to be honest. When I was little, the old saying were not to look at the back doors of an ambulance because it will bad luck. Also, not to smash any mirrors or break any mirrors because you got so many years of bad luck. And then the only one that I really used to pay attention to when I was younger was, I don't know if you've seen them, but those big grates, covers, you'll get like a big one on its own, or you'll get 2, sometimes 3 if you're in a bigger place. And I used to avoid those. I won't step on them. And not the fact that they'd break and I'd fall through, but the fact that I thought it'd be bad luck. So I'd always avoid going all over any of them grates. So I don't know if that's classed as a superstition, but that's the only real thing that I can think of. I don't really have one as I've got older. What horror movie did you never get over? Now I've always been into my horror films. There's not one horror film that I've not liked. Oh well, saying that though, what were it called now? Something like Cabin in the Woods, something like that, but it got Chris Hemsworth in it. That was the most boring film I've ever seen. Worst film he's ever done. But I think it was Cabin in the Woods. I can't remember if it was that, but I know it had got Chris Hemsworth in it, and it was an horror film, but it were rubbish. But as for a film or a movie that I've never got over, I think there's only one that really got to me when I was younger, because I watched it when I was about 8, 9. It was called Deep Rising, and we were watching it, and obviously there's scary and jumpy bits, but when it come to near end and you got to see the creature, I was absolutely bloody petrified. And it was like in a ship gangway, there was this like snake thing chasing them in all way, bashing door off, and then when they got into Bowett's ship, cruise ship, it was like a big squid ugly thing, and I ended up jumping up, going back at sofa and just staying there until it had done. And I couldn't watch it again until I must have been at least 13, 14 when I watched it again. And it don't bother me now, I can watch it all the time. But back then it just terrified me. I thought, crikey, if that's in sea, we're doomed. So, yeah, I think that's the only film that's really ever got to me as a kid. But I did get over it. But there's no other films I can think of off the top of my head that's I've never got over. I've always enjoyed them, to be honest. Number 5, what is your favourite scary and or Halloween colouring book? I've only just started getting Halloween stuff. I love the Beauty of Horror collection. I've got those in my rack. There's a Haunted Doll book I've got, which is by Davina Rush, I think it is, or something like that. That's a really cool book. And then I've got Sarah Richter's Dunkelbunt book. It's not a horror book, but it's got dark images in it, which is really nice images, to be honest. I can't really think of any other ones. I know I've got quite some other horror books as well that I've been colouring in, but not off the top of my head. So yeah, that's that one. Number 6, what is the scariest book you have ever read? I'm honestly going to be truthful there. I have never read a horror book, or to be honest, I'm not a big reader. I have a couple of books, mainly like I'm into Zach Bagans' Ghost Adventures, so I've watched all his episodes. I can't get enough of him. He's like my favourite person in the world, as well as my kids and my partner. But I've got two of his books, The Dark World and I forgot what the other one is. But I haven't read The Dark World yet. That was supposed to be the first book, but I didn't know until I'd already started reading the second book. They're only the really books that I've got, as well as a dreams book, because I have a lot of dreams, and mine are really graphic, scary dreams, and it feels real. So as for scariest book, I'm going to have to skip that because I haven't got no scary books. I don't read books. They give me, when I tend to read books, it gives me like a headache because I don't know if it's the same with anybody else, but when I'm reading a book, I'm trying to imagine it like a cinematic movie and trying to place it as I'm reading book. And then because I'm doing that, I'm causing myself to have an headache, and then I have to put book down and I don't read it then for ages, especially if it's a big book. I end up putting it away and I end up just not reading it, and then when it comes to me reading it again after a couple of months, I've lost where I've finished, even though I've put a marker on. I get lost and I forget what I'd previously read, so I ended up just going back to beginning and reading it again, and then again didn't see it, and now can't be bothered. But I've read Zach Bagans' first book. I've just got to read his second book, and I can read them. They're not bad. They're not too thick either, so and I can keep up with those. So unfortunately, I don't have a scariest book I've ever read. Number 7. If you could be a scary monster, what would you be? Scary monster. The only monster that I like are vampires, really. I just find them like not like Twilight versions. I'm not dissing Twilight because I love Twilight and all the ones that that they've brought out. I've watched them all. I used to be really big on it at one point. Not because of the Blue Moon sparkle, but because of the storyline. I like the story to it, and I really wished I could have read all books, but I can't read. Somebody can read to me and tell me about it, but I mean like the old style versions, like Bram Stoker's Dracula and stuff like that. The way they dress, really old fashioned but really nice and seductive. I like those type of vampires. So I'm gonna have to go with a vampire. They're not really monsters, but to some people they are scary, aren't they? So yeah, I'm gonna pick that. Where is the number 8 is where is the scariest place you have ever been? I don't really think I've been anywhere scary, to be honest. I might have been like I think I went to somewhere like dungeons or something at school when I was younger. I think that might have been scariest. I can't remember what it was called though. But they were like mannequins and it were dark and smelly, and it were like bringing back to back in olden days and stuff. I can't remember. I think it might have been Jack the Ripper or something. I'm not 100%, but I won't say it was scariest place. But no, I don't recall being in any place that's been scary as such. Number 9, are you scared of the dark? If so, what scares you most about it? I won't say I'm scared at dark as such. At one point, a long time ago, I had to have door open and my bedroom door open and bathroom light on. I don't know why, to be honest. I think it was mainly because, like, I don't know, scared of somebody coming upstairs or something and not being able to see and falling over banisters and something and hurting myself. I don't know. But as I've got older, I've started to be able to shut the door. I leave bathroom light on for kids, like, so they can find their way to the bathroom, because obviously I've got a disabled son and he needs to be able to see to go to the toilet. So I do shut my bedroom door, and it is dark, so we've got blackout curtains as well, so it's dark. So yeah, I'm not scared at dark anymore. 10. Do you go to the toilet with lights on or off after a scary movie? And if you have a closet, would you need to have the door fully closed to sleep? After a scary movie, do I turn lights on or off? I turn them on. not because I'm scared, but because when you go to the toilet and you're doing a number 2, you need to be able to see what you're doing. I have done number 1, but with lights off once or twice when I just can't be bothered. But really, you need the light on at night time to be able to see what you're doing. For a girl anyway, and technically for a boy, because the amount of times I've had to wipe the toilet seats because the boys have not lifted the seat up and just tiddled all over, it's a good idea to put the light on. The mums with the boys will understand what I'm talking about. Amount of times I've sat on that toilet and got a surprise is, you'll be surprised. So, what's next one? Number 11. Do you prefer to watch scary movies with others or alone? I can do both. I can watch a scary movie on my own or with other people. It don't really bother me at all. More often than not, I watch scary movies on my own because there's only really me that likes watching them. I've watched a couple of scary movies, like, not as such as, making my kids frightened to death. But there's some, he's 13, so he'll watch a couple of films with me as well. My partner's more into his comedies and stuff, so it's only technically me that watches scary movies anyway, so I end up watching them alone more than I do with anybody else. Number 12, do you want to be a vampire, zombie or werewolf, and why? Oh, I've just answered that question not long ago on number 7. I'm definitely going to be picking vampire. A vampire immortality, the beauty, eternal youth. The blood sucking's a bit gruesome for some, but if it's a way of living and keeping alive, then you've got to do it, haven't you? If I'm with my love of my life for rest eternity, then definitely a vampire. If he don't want to stay, then he can bugger off. Zombies, no, I won't pick a zombie. Too slow. Even if they're in World War Z, anybody can come and splatter their brains and they're dead. Werewolf, I don't really think I'd get on with a changing from human to werewolf on every full moon, because every programme or film I've watched, it does look extremely painful. Converting from human to werewolf every time, no, it looks excruciating, and I'd rather not be a werewolf. Definitely a vampire. Number 13. Would you participate in the zombie run? A city event like a haunted fun run? If so, would you be a zombie or a runner? Oh dear. No, I wouldn't. Not because I don't like zombies. It's because I can't run. I'm chuckling to me then. If I entered one of them and I were a runner, I'd be the first to die. I wouldn't even get probably 2 yards away and I'd end up tripping up and falling over and they'd eat me. I'd have no prayer in running. I struggle to run for a goddamn bus in the morning sometimes, so no, I wouldn't be a runner. I'd be a zombie, but it depends on if you're a running zombie, because I wouldn't be able to keep up with him anyway. So I'd starve to death. Or I'd get my head plastered in, so... no, I wouldn't participate in zombie run. I've seen it advertised and stuff, and people have said to me in the past, would you go and do it? No. I'm alright, thanks. So, the next one is number 14. Do you prefer gory and creepy or cute and spooky? I'm going to be honest, I prefer gory and creepy. I'm leaning more to that side. I like cute and spooky as well. And I like girly stuff. But I'd say my pastime's definitely gory and creepy. I like that kind of stuff, but I don't know if it's because I've been brought up on it really, seeing it and experiencing it and stuff. It's just I've just took that side really. I suppose it's that I have been brought up in a way, innit? So yeah, prefer gory and creepy, but I can do cute and spooky as well. No preference really. Number 15, what scares you the most about being home alone? I don't think I'm scared of being home alone. I've been home alone quite often enough in the past, so it don't really bother me if I'm on my own or with anybody else. 16, would you rather walk through a cornfield or a forest in the dark? Really? Now, I'm not scared at dark, but when you read that, a cornfield that's got Jeepers Creepers, and then we've got forest with this Blair Witch Project, which are you going to pick? That's a really, really hard one. I don't like... Now, it depends really, because how big is the forest and how big is the cornfield? Is it a small one or is it a big one? If it's a small cornfield, I think I would pick a cornfield. And if it's a small forest, I'd pick forest and all. But I suppose it depends. They're not being very vague on how big they are. Like, if it's big, I wouldn't pick either. I'd just stand there and wait until morning. I know I've got to pick one. Oh, I'll go with forest. I'll go with forest. I end up just running for my life when I can hear creaking at branches snapping and stuff, something behind me. If there's that, is it the Ritual film? I watched that not long ago, and that's got some sort of like deer with a human body on its chest, and it's, you know, eating and killing them or whatever, and taking the souls and stuff. That's creepy. But it's funny because I'm into that kind of stuff. But when I think of Forest in Dark, that's what was popping into my head, and Blair Witch Project. But yeah, I'll go with a Forest in Dark. 17, if you could make a magic potion, what would it do and what ingredients would it take to make it? I've never been asked that before. I think I'd make a magic potion for people that wanted to change their bodies. I always struggled with my weight and everything, so it'd be something to do with my weight. And then the perfect body. As for ingredients, I wouldn't have a clue. Just chuck all sorts together. I wouldn't know what ingredients it would take to make it, but it'd definitely be a magic potion to change your appearance, like your body and stuff. 18, what was your favourite Halloween costume of all time? I don't think I've really had one. I live with my grandparents most of my life. My mum and my dad really didn't want me. So it was I was being brought up by my grandparents that were 60-year-old and stuff, so they didn't really understand it, and they just thought it was stupid to even dress up and stuff. I never went trick-or-treating with them. If I went out on my own at like 9-10-year-old, and I think I went once round to my mum, because she only lived 2 doors up. I went round to my mum and asked her to get me an outfit, and all she did was get me a black bag, bin bag, pop that on like a cape, and then she put me some makeup on, made my hair all scraggly, and got a carrier bag and just went round with that. And I think the bad I used to come home with a nice bag full of sweets and some money and stuff, so it worked. So no, I don't really have a favourite Halloween costume. I never got treated that way as a kid. 19. Who would you rather have as a friend? Michael Myers, Pennywise, Alien, Predator, Freddy Krueger, and why? Now that's an hard one. You're asking a really hard question for me there. Because they all have the decent traits in them. I mean, Michael Myers, he's had his head chopped off, I'm sure he has. And he's been shot, stabbed, run off, set afire. He's had it all and he's still alive. He's like a walking corpse. Pennywise is just like an entity, so he's got his own trait as well. He gets away with killing all these kids for every 20 odd years. Alien, well, xenomorph, because it's not really alien, it's a xenomorph, unless they're on about an alien that's just sat in space, but technically they should have put a xenomorph. They have their own traits. That obviously they're very, how can I put it? I'm looking for a word. They can hide in dark places. They've got that sharp tail and sharp claws and that extra mouth. They've got their traits. Predator, he's got his traits. He's good at combat and but he's got his weakness as well. He can die. And then there's Freddy Krueger, and he's not in your life and when you're awake, but he's there when you're asleep. So, and he can kill you while you're asleep. So he's a good one to have. I don't know. I think I'd pick. Oh, I don't know. Can't I pick more than one? I want to pick more than one. I'll go with Pennywise because he's funny. The dancing clown. And then 20, I've got to tag 3 people to participate in the scare tag. So, like I said at the beginning, I've got nobody to tag. So, I'll pop the questions in the description and you can do your own as you want and tag who you want to end if you've got obviously people to tag. So yeah, that's my colouring scare tag questionnaire tagged by my dear friend Tiana. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Thank you for tagging me, Tiana, and I will catch you all soon. Happy Halloween!